in a nutshell, gap insurance, correct me if I'm wrong, is when you drive off the lot and your car depreciates in value, you could be what's considered upside down or underwater, meaning you owe more than what the car is worth.
Right.
So if you totaled your car, your insurance claim isn't going to pay out but what the car was worth, and you might owe more money, which would leave some kind of a delta or a spread between what you owe the finance company versus what your insurance company reimbursed you. Gap insurance covers that gap. It makes sure that not only do you get enough money to replace your car in the your car in the condition that it was in and the value is, but you also get enough money to pay off your finance company.
Absolutely. And look, you forget about that when people say, "Oh yeah, I paid your insurance check. You know, they gave you $10,000 for the car." Okay, but what if you owed 11?
Yeah.
What if you owed 12? Now you have to go get a new car, right? And you're at a deficit. So that's exactly the reason you should.
So again,
that.
if you have 6 months reserve, you may choose to not add gap insurance onto your auto policy. But if you're choosing whether to do it or not, you should look at the financials. What does it cost you to have gap insurance? What does it cost you not to have it? And do the mathematical calculation or mathematical formula, and you make the decision that's right for you. Are there one or two aspects of auto insurance that you see in your day-to-day that make you a big sigh or an eye roll, that you just see mistakes, common mistakes that people make with their auto insurance? What are they, so we can make sure that we avoid them?
How long do we have?
Well, we're probably already pushing up on our 25-minute time frame. But
the absolute biggest painful calls that I get, it centers around claims frequency. Parking lot incidents, small incidents, and people feel like, hey, look, I'm paying for this coverage. Like, this is what I buy my auto insurance for. And this is one of those things that you mentioned at the front of the podcast, like things I knew or I wish my parents would have taught me in high school. I'm very fortunate. My dad was a financial advisor. Like, he loves this stuff. Like, so life insurance and cost of overall risk, like that was at the dinner table, baby. So,
what was that like? Because my son and my daughter have to live that.
Yes.
Like, how annoying am I?
You know what? I'm so grateful for it.
Okay.
Especially now in my throughout my 20s and in my early 30s. I think I a lot of times take for granted my dad's wisdom that I've been able to leverage just on some basics. So it's a great thing what you're doing with the podcast when you talk about this stuff, because I think for the most part, most people don't have that influence. And I feel grateful for it. So I think the small accidents that you think you should claim but you shouldn't, I think that should be a call to your agent. Parking lot incidents are the
literally worst. Pick up the phone and be like, hey, I just rear-ended someone, or someone bumped into me at the Publix parking lot. Yeah, should I claim this?
Yeah, I mean, the reality of the situation, parking lot incidents, there's not going to be somebody at fault. It's probably going to be a shared fault situation regardless. It doesn't matter how upset you are or how wrong you think that other driver was. For the most part, unless they admit liability, there's probably going to be some sort of shared fault, because typically the police won't even come to parking lot incidences or be able to deem fault. Like, it all depends. But at the same time, then, so say you file the claim, and it's a $700 claim, and your deductible's $250, $500, and you netted $300 and really, got your vehicle fixed. Okay. Well, you don't know when the next incident's going to happen. What if you have a legitimate incident that you can't afford out of pocket, and you're going to have to claim it? It's a couple $1,000s. It makes sense. Okay. Well, all of a sudden now you went from having nothing on your record to two things on your record, and now you're undesirable in the insurance market for the next 3 to 5 years, right? And I'm not saying that's a science, but that is that sort of perpetuation leaves people frustrated.
Yeah, two claims in 6 months.
People are going to be like, yeah, I'm paying too much. And I say, I may agree with you, but we're less desirable to the insurance marketplace. And I wish we wouldn't have made that first claim because we didn't need to.
Okay, so that's a good takeaway. That is hey, look, if you have a minor bump, bruise, before you go and file a claim, pick up the phone, call your insurance agent, pick their brain. They're experts at this, and they at least know more than you do.